Hey everyone, this is Steve from GamersNexus.net, and we are checking out Forced today, which is a cooperative arena-based brawler. Really, it's pretty straightforward. You kill things in an arena, and hey, guess what I'm going to say? You not die, just as always. So once again, our objective is to not die and level up our character a little bit. Whoa, what is going on there? Look at that torso action. This guy, I don't know, guys. I see no way possible to lose if he can do a full 360 like that. He must have a gelatin spinal cord. So, I've already completed the first mission here and the tutorial. So we are going to dive into something a little harder. I have not played these other ones. Let's give Tremors a try, because jumping into something that's difficult always sounds like a good idea when you're playing a game fresh. So, the most appealing aspect of this game is by far its co-op element. However, multiplayer co-op is not currently available. Local co-op is, and I will get someone to, I'll get Dr. Gone over and we'll play that sometime. But for now, we're doing single player. So we need to pick a skill. We have a Kamehameha skill here that will knock back enemies, and we have a shield throw. So as you can see here, I've already selected a weapon. When you enter a challenge, it puts you in front of these four weapons: the shield, a hammer that is on fire, and that hammer's on fire. Why am I using a shield if I can use a hammer that's on fire? Okay, there we go. Oh man, that looks awesome. What is this? Flame NATO? That sounds pretty sick. I didn't read what it does, but it sounds good. So we also have a bow and some Wolverine claws, but no one cares about those because we have a hammer that's freaking on fire. Seriously, can't go wrong. Okay, so I'm not sure what our objective is on this mission, other than to kill things and survive. But let's see, interrupt the spawner shrine. Is this the spawner shrine? It looks like it. Yep. Okay, so that little ball that's following me is a spirit of some sort. We can call him by double tapping space, and he will go to the region that I was last in when I called him. We can also single tap space and he'll auto follow. And a lot of the game revolves around using this spirit ball to interrupt objects, just like that. So, it seems on the surface like something that is not necessarily all that awesome. However, in a later level that I will show you in a moment, it is actually quite interesting because they really amp up the difficulty and the stress placed on the player by the challenges. So having that extra element, just having this ball to keep an eye on, to kind of keep in the back of your mind while you're playing, and to strategically drop it in places, is a significant amount of extra work. Oh, that's the Flame NATO. Oh man. It is like a tornado, and it's on fire. So Flame NATO seems quite fitting, if you ask me. Okay, we killed the brawler. What now? Kill swarmers and kill brawlers. So I was saying, the strategy in our spirit placement here is actually quite interesting. It's pretty simple in these initial levels because this is a very early dev build of the game, or pre-alpha or something along those lines. I think it's an alpha build. But it does get a little bit more challenging in later missions, of course. This is only the second mission. Now, co-op, each of you can play different classes. It is more tactical, really, than anything. It's not like turn-based, but it is pretty tactical because the idea is, of course, that you will combine your abilities to deal with these hordes of enemies, which do become quite overwhelming if you are cornered or otherwise not prepared for them. So definitely something to keep in mind there. Let's interrupt this spawner. So what I'm doing here, if you haven't noticed, is I am continually attempting to interrupt this spawner here by sending the spirit through it. That's buying me time between spawns, so it is preventing more of these swarmers from spawning. So that lets me deal with primarily the brawlers, which are, of course, much larger, as you can see on the screen here, and a little bit more menacing. They look kind of like Nacho Libre. If you that mask reminds me of not. You know what? They're not so menacing when you realize that. Jack Black with a giant sword, I suppose. Okay, just kidding. Jack Black with a giant sword does 30 damage apparently, which is quite a lot of damage in this game. So I'm in a little bit of trouble right now, but not to worry because I have a hammer that's on fire. And once again, simply physically impossible to lose when you have a mallet that is bigger than your body and is made of lava. So defeat the shield brawler. There, I see a shield and I see a brawler. I suppose that's a shield brawler. I'm really low health right now. Kind of sketchy. Not so sure what I think about this. Uh-oh, he's flanking me. He was much smarter than I thought. This is bad. Well, I mean, for those of you who are frequent viewers, this is not anything abnormal for our stream here. Dying is something that I'm quite adept at, actually, and it is an acquired skill in these games. It takes much training, and I mean, like that. No, you couldn't die that spectacular. I'm just saying that was pretty good. Of course, the objective here, there is actually a bug right now I want to call attention to. Hopefully the developers see this. That said failure. It was supposed to say success because we're just going to say that's what it's supposed to say. Let's jump in. Oops, that was the same level. Let's jump into the harder level I wanted to show you. We will jump back to the preparation room. Or actually jump back to the Hall of Trials, excuse me. And we are going to jump into one of the hardest challenges. Because if I can't beat level 2, or 3, whatever that was, then surely I should be able to beat level 5, right? I mean, that's just logical. So we will go in here. I'm actually going to try a different weapon to switch things up. The Wolverine Claws, I'm not a fan of the animation. They're kind of strange looking. It's a little bit choppy. And I'm just not a fan of the weapon in general, so I'm not going to use it. The bow is pretty simple. I mean, really point, shoot, right? Nothing revolutionary there. However, I am a big fan of the shield so far. Let's see what skills the bow has. So we have a chain lightning arrow. That sounds pretty good. Jumps between targets, marked targets. Oh yes, you can mark targets by hitting them. Sort of like, I really hate to make this comparison, but D&D 4th edition actually has marking targets as well. When you hit a target, it will put a mark on them, and using your abilities, like this one, those can take advantage of the marks. So this, it says, will jump between marked targets within 3 meters of each other and deal damage to each of them. So this will be quite good if I get swarmed and overwhelmed. However, it is a bow, so the obvious disadvantage there is that in general it's just slower, it takes more time to fire and aim and all of that. I would really like to try the shield, as you saw I went for originally, and I think I want this because if I recall, it has a lower cooldown. Hitting an enemy will decrease the cooldown. Let's see, so there's our progress. Not quite another level yet. And I don't have anything to unlock these yet either. So we are just flying with the shield and our one ability here. Let's dive into this level. So this one is kind of scary looking. You can see we clearly have Cylons operating what looks to be a giant goblet of red wine. And our goal is to disable that, which I have just done, because the smoke is damaging. I'll let it get out here for a second. It will not. I don't believe it will damage the enemies. However, if I walk into it, you'll see it does 2 damage to me for every X amount of time that I am in there, which is actually pretty bad because, of course, as it gets farther and farther out, it is more and more difficult to continually disable it because you'll have to run wider circles around the goblet, as we have so adeptly dubbed it, to get your spirit to go through it, and the spirit interrupting it is how you disable it. So this shield I can block with, which is part of the reason I chose it, because clearly going all out barbarian mode with the hammer was just too good. They couldn't handle me, and I should probably kill that smoke, shouldn't I? Let's kill that smoke before I continue with my thought. Okay, so we are in pretty good shape right now. Only problem is, of course, we have some spitters on the field. which are ranged enemies, I believe, if the name wasn't indicative of that. There we go. This doesn't do a ton of damage, but as you can see, it knocks them very far back, and it sends me elsewhere. So it is actually very good for when you get cornered, as I'm doing right now. By the way, don't get cornered. Obviously, I'm just doing it, you know, to show you, of course, because I'm really looking out for your best interests. But you don't want to get cornered. So we're gonna send him through there again. Hopefully, buy some more time. Oh, what did that do? I have no idea what that did, to be honest. But I think there's another one down here. What happens if I go through this? Let's see. Killed that guy. I think I'm healing. Oh, sick. So you can heal in this game. I actually did not know that earlier. That's going to make things so much easier. Can't even begin to explain how horribly I was doing before without knowing that. The combat is pretty simple. The gameplay mechanics also very simple. It does start to build up, of course, as more and more enemies come out. But, oh crap, I need to disable this before it gets bad, and it is getting very bad right now. Uh-oh. Come on, buddy. You can run. So I have to be careful to make sure this ball goes through, because right now, really, this is going to be my only shot here. Yep, and it's going to go through. Oh, it didn't reset it all the way. So, as you can see here, just like I was saying, it builds up and gets worse and worse over time. And I need to run on the other side. Unfortunately, I also need to heal. So I'm just going to try and confuse them by running through all of these rocks. Call him here. Really hope he goes through it. Okay. And now I need to try and heal before I die. So hopefully he goes through that and heals me just in time. No! No! So close! Anyway, so that is Forced. It is pretty straightforward. You kill things and you level up. And with multiplayer, I think it will be actually very fun. Quite chaotic, of course. It has up to 4-player multiplayer. And while I'm talking and wrapping up, we'll jump into another room here. Has up to 4-player multiplayer, I believe. And it is co-op. So you play in the arena together, you complete the same objectives, all of that. I would guess the difficulty would scale, but you can manually set difficulty. I believe I think you can. Well, maybe not right now, but I would guess you could in the future. So that's pretty much all there is to it. You run around the arena, you kill things. It did just go through a Kickstarter campaign, and I will link all of that information in the description below. So if you like what you see, please like. If you have any questions at all, or would like to recommend a game for me to play, you know, if you don't want to buy it and you want me to take the hit for you and check it out, please let me know in the comments, and I will do that for you. And I will see you guys next time. Peace.